Ladies and gentlemen, it's our absolute pleasure to invite our favourite internet content creator, Max FOSH, to the show. Hello, Max. How are you?
Hello,
Hey, Max.
All right, man.
How many times have you said that, John? How many favourite content creators do you have?
No, you are honestly it.
You are it, definitely, Max, definitely.
It's very kind. Hello, guys. You well?
Yeah,
we
not
well,
bad.
thanks. Yeah,
Are you guys all Geordie based? Are you all Geordie, or like
Yes.
only John?
all Geordie. Yeah.
All of it.
Where do you guys live?
North Shields. North
uh,
Shields.
Oh, what a place! What an absolute place that is.
I take
Have you been?
I take it you're familiar.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I finished in North Shields on the Great North Run along the
Yes.
along the beach, and I remember there's a roundabout with a weird statue that I was like sat against when I was absolutely in so much pain. But I know North Shields well.
Wrapped in one of those silver blankets.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good stuff, man.
Right, and so here at OLIN TV, Max, we'd like to go back to the very beginning. So could you tell us a bit about yourself, maybe growing up, and then how you got into YouTube and content creation?
Yeah, of course. So I, as you can tell from my accent, I had a very privileged upbringing. I was born in kind of West London, grew up in West London, and went to a boarding school, which then led me on to Newcastle University, where I spent 4 years of my life. I'd never been to Newcastle before the first day that I rocked up. And like, it was such an incredible surprise. It was such a lovely surprise of walking, like, wow, this place literally has everything. Like, walking up Grey Street was just kind of like the terraced houses. I was like, this is bloody hell. So yeah, when I was at university, where I started making YouTube videos. So I'm a YouTuber. And I was at university for 4 years, and when I was at university, I kind of threw myself into everything there. So like, I was studying, but I wanted to make sure that I kind of made the best of my time there, because I was being told constantly that this is the best time of your life, and I thought, bloody hell, okay, this is it, right? Let's really get involved. So I was doing the student radio, I was doing drama, I was going to the footy, I was meeting
Newcastle United supporter.
But although my first year, I remember I'm a Chelsea fan, and I was at the back of the away stand where you need your binoculars to see what's going on. But you beat us 2-1. And I remember like not having to pretend that I wasn't disappointed.
that must have been a lucky day, that one.
Exactly. So yeah, and then it was at university that I then got a job at a place called Radio Tyneside, which is a hospital radio station on Claremont Road by the North Terrace pub. And it was there where I kind of learnt by these guys who'd been in the hospital radio scene for like 40 years. And they were these proper Geordie lads who just loved radio. And they kind of gave me the Geordie tough love. Like, there is no praise, there's no, like, you did a good job there. Like, you know you've done well when they don't tell you off, basically. And so like, it was there where I kind of learnt presenting, and I learnt what I was doing. And I wanted initially to be a radio presenter. Like, I tried to get jobs in the various stations in the Northeast, like, and as you can imagine, walking in, I was like, right, here we go, Max. Here you go. And then I'm just sat there thinking, hello, nice to talk to you, very good to see you. And actually, I got to know a guy called Steve Fennell, who did the breakfast show on Metro for years and years and years.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, he was kind of like a really nice mentor for me to be like, okay, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. And so radio for me was like the big thing. And then it was when I was at university, I kind of had all of my radio stuff for like a show reel, because when I was at university, I thought, right, an agent is when you've got an agent, you've made it. Like, and I was this like absolutely obsessed with this idea of getting an agent. And so I had the radio stuff, and then I just kind of thought, right, I need some video stuff for my portfolio as well. So I just went out to the streets of Newcastle and kind of filmed, and then kind of the rest is history.
Oh, nice one.
I watched a couple of the early Street Smart videos earlier. And honestly, I was just like brushing my teeth and stuff, and I had up my phone, and I was laughing my head off. My girlfriend goes, "What are you laughing at?" And I goes, "He's in Newcastle, man. He's doing."
It's so weird that like although I don't like sound like it, like this, my whole career it goes down to Newcastle, and like the people I met there who taught me how to present, just the locals that I interviewed on nights out. one of the locals who I became friends with, you might have seen him if you've ever been on a night out. So in between like Flares and like Tup Tup, in between that like road there, there's a guy with a guitar called Gary. And Gary, he's hilarious. Like he would every single
next to the subway on the corner.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
the church, like a church, isn't it?
Opposite the church.
Yeah.
It's like next to that like municipal building that I'm never really sure what it was. It looked like a library or a crown court or something. And anyway, Gary was there every night, and it was funny because you didn't know what mood Gary was in before you got there. So either he was in the best mood, he wanted to chat, he was just chiller, or he was in a terrible mood. Yeah, like all those kind of days, like being in the city centre and big market and interviewing people, it's just kind of all where it started, really.
Oh, nice one. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're watching at home, I would suggest going to watch some of those early Street Smart videos. If you go on Max's channel, you go scroll right at the bottom. They're amazing.
My oldest. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm not as I'm getting on a bit, Max. I wouldn't even work out how to do all this first and stuff, you know. Anyway, you keep our attention as Maximus Bucharest in the Zac and Jay video when you guys took over London Fashion Week. And I'm laughing at, like, just now talking about it. It was so good. But can you tell us a bit about that experience and how you got to know Zac and Jay? And what was that period like for you?
So I just finished university, and like I had loads of video up on YouTube. They were getting no views. They weren't going anywhere, and I didn't like for 6 months. I was like, what am I going to do here? Because I'd left university. So when I was at university, it was a little bit of like a comfort blanket because it was like, oh, you're at university as well, so it's not that important that this stuff goes well because I could fall back on saying to people that I was at university. But when I got down to London, I was working kind of in a pub for about 6 months, and I walked past Zac on the street in West London.
Oh.
Now, I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Zac when he had his own personal channel, and then he just started the Zac and Jay show with Jamie. And I just sent him a message the next day on Instagram being like, hi, mate, these are my credentials. I make videos as well. If you ever need someone to film in London for free, I'll do it. And surprisingly, he took me up on that offer. And so we then started working together quite closely, and I was filming for him. And then he just kind of one day, it was kind of like, I'll tell you what, it was exactly 3 years ago.
Really?
But no, 2 years ago since Maximus Bucharest. And he just messaged me saying, Max, Fashion Week is finishing in 24 hours. We want to do something, but we don't know what we want to do. And there was a video that had been done previously by a guy called Uber Butler for Vice, where he kind of became a fashion designer rather than a model, but he became this fashion designer. And so essentially we just took that video and looked at what he achieved, and we thought, let's just do it ourselves.
I remember that. You did the Giorgio something, wasn't it?
Yeah, Giorgio Paviani. Yeah, he got
that's it. Yeah.
He got the jean manufacturer that he saw like loads of market stalls around London and just went as this person. So we kind of saw this opportunity to do, and it done really well as a video. And we thought we could do this as well. And honestly, in terms of like the planning that we had about 24 hours to do the video. So we just walked into Primark. We found stupid outfits, stupid clothing. We looked around my apartment. Okay, that will do. Wear that, wear this, wear that. And we just went to where all the shows were happening. So, I mean, like I was someone who at school was a very goody two shoes. Like I was always doing what the teacher said. I was a good guy in school. Whereas like Zac and Jay are the absolute opposite of that. Like they will just kind of break into everything. They don't care about rules. And I remember thinking, Max, this is your big break here, because they had like 50,000 subscribers. I had about 500. I thought just by being in a video, it's going to be great for the channel. And so I just kind of said yes to everything. And we managed to kind of blag our way into a show. People asked me who I was wearing, where I was from. and like, funny enough, the name Maximus Bucharest was something that just was that Zac came up with on the absolute fly, because I had been photographed by loads of photographers, and he was acting as my agent and my manager, and people coming up saying, who's that? And we'd spoken about the name before we'd went, and we hadn't come up with a good enough name. We thought, oh, fuck it doesn't matter. We'll sort it out when we're there. And he just came up with, he's called Maximus Bucharest from Bucharest. And from there, it just stuck. And then I can
just imagine going, he's called Maximus Bucharest from Bucharest.
Bucharest.
Yeah, like he just kind of like I don't know where he plucked it out from, because like looking back on it, it was a great name.
Yeah.
And so the next time we had a spare 10 seconds, he said, "Oh, by the way, your name's Maximus Bucharest from Bucharest." I was like, "Yeah, got that. Cheers." And from there, we just kind of got invited to loads of shows, and we got what we needed out of the video, and we finished making the video, and we thought, "Oh, that was fun. That will do all right. That was a good video." And then Zac, I remember Zac absolutely killed himself on the edit. Like he just went for it. And you can tell, like, even now as like video editing all the time, I can just rewatch that video and thought, bloody hell, that is an incredible edit.
Yeah, really good.
And as a result, the video just went megally viral. I then suddenly had like 50, 60,000 people come to my channel almost overnight, looking at the stuff that I had. And I was lucky that I had videos there. Like a lot of the time when that happens is that they come over, they stick around for a week, and then your 5 minutes of fame has died down, and then that's it. But luckily there were videos for them to watch, and they stuck around, and just slowly from the moment it's just kind of grown and grown and grown and grown.
So which videos are you most proud of?
Oh God, Richie, it's such a good question. I think I have to say the videos I'm most proud of is when I've like pushed myself to make something that I'm not usually making. So for the first year and a half, street smart videos, and those are really easy. Those are just like going out, ask an easy question, get a stupid answer. You edit together the best 3 minutes of that, and then you post it. But it's when I've moved into different kind of areas, it's been really tricky, and thus I've been really proud of it. So I have a series called Unconventional, where I go to like weird and wonderful conventions around the UK. And then I did one where I went to a metal detecting convention. And that was the first time that I did a video in which I was trying to like tell a story through something. And so that was great. I was really proud of that. And then also when I put Maximus Bucharest on a billboard for free around London, because there was so much work that went into that, like just blagging it and asking people for things for free when there was no reason for them to give it to me for free. And like, so yeah, probably the metal detecting convention, and when I got on the billboards with Maximus Bucharest.
Brilliant.
I love the particularly I love the video when you found the winner of Takeshi's Castle. I was like, how did you? I was even like thinking just a minute, how has he even thought about this idea?
Yeah, God, that's so funny. That's so funny because no one watched that series. Like those videos tanked, and I remember when I thought the idea, I thought, this is, here we go. This is we're going to View Town now, guys. And I think that I got the video because just someone I saw on Twitter, someone made the fact that more people have been on the moon than have won Takeshi's Castle. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, that's a great stat. It's something that is in like everyone knows of, that it was really hard to win Takeshi's Castle. And actually that was the first ever interview done by a Westerner of a winner of Takeshi's Castle.
Oh, really?
That's amazing.
No one else has ever done it. So that was a bit of an honor for me.
So did the video when you found a stock image of the lady? Just a bit of context here. Max, I think it was, I can't remember the name of the lady, but she was in the stock image of a photo frame, wasn't she? And you hunted her down.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, that's just like, how do these ideas even come to you, man? That was like, it was so good.
A lot of the time it's like conversations I'm having with my mates. Like, so with the stock photo woman, when I moved into my flat, I was given this photo frame by my mum, and it was such a grown-up gift to get, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't be asked to like get my own like photo in there. So we just kind of left the stock photo that came with the frame in the frame. And me and my flatmate found it really funny because whenever people would come around, they were like, "Oh, is that your mum? Was that your sister? Is that a friend or a relative?" We have to say, we actually have no idea who she is. And so I'd been saying to my flatmate for ages, "Oh, I'm going to find out who she is. I'm going to find out who she is." And then lockdown happened in March last year, and I thought, well, now is the best time. And initially I thought it was going to take 20 minutes. Like I'd be able to do a reverse image search. Like she would be a famous model. She'd done loads of stuff, and I'd have the interview, and that'd be that. But what ended up happening was just this like wild goose chase for about 6 weeks, in which I was going on Australian national television. I was speaking to kind of archivists who are experts in stock photography, and eventually I did find her. But yeah, that was an example of a video where you start off, and then where you end up is you didn't expect ever to be in that position.
Yeah.
So primarily our channel is a music one. So what floats your boat musically? What are you listening to at the moment?
Neil, that's a great question. I have to say, I'm not that cool when it comes to music, right? Like, I bet people come on here and they'll just say, "Hey, Eric Clapton, guys, he's the best." Like, they'll name like a really indie old rocker.
Well, funnily enough, Max, we had Alan McGee, the guy who first signed Oasis. We had him on a couple of weeks ago. We asked him like what he was into and stuff like that, like what the music, what he first started listening to, and he said Gary Glitter.
T-Rex, glam rock. So yeah. You don't have to be cool.
I love the difference. Cool. I love the difference between like the guy who founded Oasis and me, who just makes stupid. I have to. So lockdown. So I'm a big fan of musical theatre. Number one, big fan of musical theatre. I really like. I do like my country music and my acoustic kind of music. So Brandi Carlile, who's this American country musician, I love. But more closer to home, acoustically, people like Ben Howard, Bears Den, kind of very laid back, mellow stuff. So that's probably what I would say.
Nice one.
I mean, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but we're just got to ask, how's COVID-19 impacted you creatively? I know it's a question you probably get all the time during this time, but creatively, like, how has it been difficult for you, or have you found it a different way of doing things? You know.
It was difficult because when it started, the preconceptions of everybody else was that, oh, this is great. This is the perfect thing that's going to happen to you because everyone's on their laptops or on their phones at home watching YouTube. So there was kind of this extra pressure externally for the channel to do really well.
Yeah.
But then I realized, like, my whole thing at that point last March, my whole like deal on YouTube was the interview guy. Like, I was the guy who interviewed people. And so I couldn't do that anymore. And I tried it a little bit on Zoom and it didn't work. It wasn't as good. And so it kind of, I got into like a real rut for like a couple of months where I thought, oh, what am I going to do? And it was actually it was when I decided to do something else, is that when it all changed. Now, as a YouTuber, that's always quite difficult to do because your audience knows you for one type of thing. And then like they kind of thought, right, that's your thing. That's what you do. And often when you make something new, they're like, oh, why are you doing that? We don't really want that. So doing the finding the stock photo, it allowed like a whole new type of content to emerge. And subsequently after that, I've kind of moved into a more kind of story-based kind of style of video, which has helped me massively going forward. Like COVID was both the best thing and the worst thing that could have happened. The best thing that it forced me to change up my videos, but also the worst thing that those like March, April, May months last year were really, really dark for me because it was like, this is my whole job and I can't do this successfully. So it's all turned out absolutely wonderfully, lads. But for a long time, it was like, God, is this the end? Is that all I do? Am I just the guy who interviews people?
Yeah. I suppose it's very much a kind of forced evolution because in the first month or two, you're trying to do what you used to do in that climate. Whereas to do things in that climate, you have to sort of adapt and pivot maybe.
Yeah. And Neil, it's such a good point. And the idea that looking back now, like the stock photo series, of course, like it was a great series. I think it was a good series, but when you're first making it, when you're first posting it, and the first 3 weeks or so, the views are through the floor because it's not what people are normally used to. It can be demoralizing. It can stop you from.
Of course.
Like, I've just released a video actually tonight where I'm trying a new series with like people who maybe not YouTube centric. And at the moment, those views are through the floor, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I stop that because maybe it's not what I'm known for. But actually, if you do that, then you do stagnate, and then further down the line, it will be a bigger problem.
I mean, speaking of views and high views, I noticed today, and I didn't realize you did this. You did a collab with the Sidemen with Bambino Becky dressed as a pint glass. What was it like working with them? And I'm fully going for clickbait here.
Go for it. I have to say, John, I like calling it a collaboration with the Sidemen for me is very kind because I got a call the day before that shoot from Becky, and Becky said, "Do you want to be in a Sidemen video?" And like, that was all that she said. And I immediately was like, yes, I do. And she apparently, so because she was on there and it was a Dragon's Den and the YouTubers were pitching different ideas. And so she for her idea, she just needed someone dressed as a pint glass. And she'd asked loads of people, and loads of people said no. And I thought, why are you turning this down? And I just thought, do you know what? I'm more than happy to dress up as a pint glass and look stupid. And so I arrived on the day with Becky, and it was in this studio, and all of the YouTubers like were on one floor, and then they were filming on the top floor, and then we were being called when we were needed. But I was suddenly in this room with Zac and Jay, Calix, Cal Freezy, Stephen Tries, Nico and Milana. I was like, these are the biggest creators in the country.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of dressed as a pint in the corner. And so, then we went up, and I hardly said anything. And then I think at the end of it, JJ tried to buy me as a servant. There you go, John. There you go, John. There's your clickbait. KSI tried to buy me. And so it was an amazing experience, and the like, it just shows the power that those lads have within that sphere.
Yeah.
Like, I was being messaged by people I was in it for honestly about 90 seconds, like hardly in it at all. Yeah. And I was being messaged by people, and people like, oh, you're in the Sidemen video. That's mental. That's crazy. And I guess like I'd never watched any of their content religiously, but I'd always been aware of what they did, and I liked some of what they did. And so just to be in a Sidemen video like that was just such a cool experience. And hopefully I'll be in some in the future.
Yeah, mate. I mean, just finally, do you have anything else exciting going forward when we get out of lockdown? Have you got any good video ideas we might be able to get a bit of a scoop on?
John, you've come to me at the perfect time, because Brilliant. I actually have an absolute banger of a series coming up.
Mint.
So it's so obviously, like, as a result, the channel's become quite well known for like finding people and finding things, and I often get emails from people who are suggesting different episodes. And guys, those emails are hilarious. Like, I got an email from a girl asking me to legitimately solve the 1986 assassination of the Swedish Prime Minister. So like, I'm getting like seriously like international criminal investigation in my inbox. So I then kind of thought, oh, hold on, maybe there is like people like to feel like they're right, and people liked a bit of a quiz. So I'm going to be hiding £10,000 in cash in a briefcase somewhere in the UK. It's going to be a nationwide treasure hunt. Everybody
close to me, man.
It might be in the northeast, guys. It might not be. I'm currently writing the treasure hunt, but the idea is that I'll release 3 videos. Each video is going to have different sets of clues, and anybody can go out and try and find the money. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to get kind of more sponsors involved and do a bigger cash prize. But at the moment it's like, right, 10 grand, who wants it? So guys, keep your eyes peeled for that.
That is a banger, like a proper interactive element, like involving anybody who wants. That's amazing.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Nice one.
That's so good. Well, Max, we'll not keep you any longer. Thank you very much. It's been absolutely
thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you. This has been one of the most enjoyable podcasts I've done. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks very much. No, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Brilliant. What I'll do is I'll send you all the links through and stuff. I've got your email, haven't I? So I'll send everything through, and then so you can have a watch when it all goes out in a couple of weeks' time.
I can't wait. And guys, when I'm back up in Newcastle, I'll probably be back up to do some like stand-up stuff at the stand.
Oh, nice one.
Oh, lush.
If that's happening, come on down. We'll have a
yes, definitely.
Will do, Max.
It is
amazing, guys.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Cheers, Max. Take care.
See you later. Bye.
See you later.